So you originally emigrated to the U.S. to study at university, and then I'm guessing you transitioned to like an employer-based visa from there.
Yep, I was on a H-1B.
Yeah. Is it even, I mean, it's super complicated for even someone on an H-1B to leave their job to start a company. It's even more complicated for someone who's, say, an Indian citizen to move to the U.S. to work on starting a company.
Yeah.
How do you think the U.S. immigration system could be changed to be more friendly to entrepreneurs and support startup founders?
I mean, I don't know why the US is not doing this because, the US is kind of, and specifically the Bay Area, has been the mecca for new companies, right? And like you said, it is very complicated to get anything set up from an immigration perspective. The way I think they should do it is they should just give people a startup visa. I know, like, there's been this proposal that's been going around in the US for like many years, and I think Canada and the UK have some version of it where if you are starting a company, if you have investors that are like, real investors, not like, that to minimize fraud and so on and so forth, they will give you a startup visa that will then convert to permanent residence. So I wish the US had some form of startup visa program. I struggled through the H-1B process for almost 10 years. And I would have loved to take a shot at doing a company earlier, but my hands were kind of tied because of H-1B.
Yeah, but I think my father was in similar shoes for many years as we naturalized. We moved here from Poland when I was a child, but also going through the naturalization process.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the startup visa in my mind is just a no-brainer. Like, these are people that are coming to create jobs. Let them create jobs.
Yeah, in many cases, it's ironic because they've registered companies in the U.S. already, but they don't meet the capital requirements for something like the EB-5, where
Right,
you're
of
pretty
course.
much it's like costs more than $1 million, but that's your only
Right.
fast track for a permanent residency.
Yeah, and like, having a company in the US makes life a lot easier when it comes to fundraising. People are very comfortable with the legal system here. So they know that there's going to be no kind of hanky-panky going on with the funds that have been raised in the company. So that part the US has already figured out, but they just need to make it so that the actual entrepreneur can land on the shores here.
Yeah, even Germany has a startup visa, and they're known for their inflexible
Oh wow.
bureaucracy.
I didn't know that they had one. So yeah, I got my fingers crossed that soon we have a startup visa in the US. That would be fantastic.
The Biden administration has something that they call the startup visa, but it's like a temporary deferral of immigration enforcement for someone who applies and gets this temporary permission. It's nothing like
I
a
see.
proper visa.
So it somehow like extends the amount of time that you can stay in the US.
Yeah, like if you're already here on a tourist visa or something, or could come here on a tourist visa, like it's really makes life easier for European founders or others that have visa-free travel to the U.S. I think more
I see.
than just being a blanket entrepreneur startup visa.
Yeah, like in India, to get the visa to come to the US is not that simple, right? You have to actually go for an in-person interview, and kind of really prove to them that you are in India, you are not going to illegally stay on in the US, and they're very strict about it when you go in for the visa interview. So